Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is the Highest and Best You, a show about people who are striving to reach their maximum potential in the real estate industry. Each week we sit down with somebody in the real estate industry to talk about what they're doing to reach their highest and best potential. I'm your host, Jake Verna, and this podcast is brought to you by VRA Realty. For more information about VRA Realty, visit VRARealty.com and then look at Jake Verna on social media. Or Jake.Verna, whatever you find out. Today we're here with Susan Mattern.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for
Susan,
inviting me.
Your story is interesting.
Really? I'm just an interesting type of person.
But what I like to get the show started off with is just a simple question I ask everybody. What are you doing right now to reach your highest and best? And this can be in real estate or life because it all is intertwined, in my opinion.
Right. So 2025, I actually started doing like my business plan back in 2024 in like November. Because, you know, right out of the gate, if everybody always does it like on New Year's Day, you're now 90 days out. So I kind of was like, okay, 100 days from, you know, November 1st, what does that put you in? Right now, I'm currently working on my database, just with some switches within the real estate office. We switched our CRM from KV Core to Lofty, and unfortunately, most of my people were lost on that.
No.
However, because I'm so retentive with stuff, I had probably about 15 different spreadsheets with people on it, either vendors. So I uploaded that, so I'm good. Now I just have to go through it and kind of like, and I'm going to hopefully get that done this weekend. I think once that's set, that's kind of like your housekeeping stuff that you do in the beginning. It's slow right now. I mean, everybody's still coming out of the Christmas time and it's freezing cold out.
Way too cold.
I showed houses last night and lock boxes were frozen. It was not fun. Lockbox
just broke on me because of it. It's not.
Yeah. And people, and like some agents, there's a lot of lazy agents out there. Me not being one of them, but there was ice on steps. There's, snow covered sidewalks.
Yeah.
It's just not fun time.
No.
We're not like the $1 million listing that you see on like TV. Such fake. We don't do that. Yeah, it's all fake, right?
It's real life.
It's real life, right? HGTV is all fake.
No,
so I'm doing that just to get my business. And right now I feel like I have 3 jobs. I have my real estate business, and I break that into 2 jobs, and then I have my flip. Mm-hmm. And we're like, the light at the end of the tunnel is there.
I know.
Drywall's up.
The last 10% is the...
but then you have drywall people like that are taking their time. Like, hello, like, let's snap to it. I told him today, if he's not done by Monday, we're going to start deducting stuff from his... Yeah. So... hoping to have the rest of the drywall on the second floor and paint done by Monday. I'm kind of pushing them a little bit, but if we get it done by Wednesday, I'll be even happier. So that's where I'm at right now. There's a lot of, I run comps all the time, and I think because of where the location is and there's not a lot of inventory, I think this is a brand new house. We've added about 1,000 square feet in the basement. I'm adding it all together as 2,200 square feet. Really, it's in public records, it's 1,200, but we added a second bathroom.
Nice.
We added some room space and living space in the basement. We added all new HVAC, all new electrical, all new plumbing, deck, and the really nice Trex deck in the back. I mean, it's huge. It's the biggest deck in Chester County. Front porch with Trex decking and a metal roof. I know, I'm sorry. Jake's blushing.
Whoa. No, Jake.
Anyway, so it's really like it's going to be cute. It's somebody for downsizing, single mom that has a couple kids, and they want to be in that particular school district.
Where is it?
In Downingtown.
Nice.
So
West or East?
West.
Nice.
Yeah, so Steb's there. I mean, and the price point where I'm starting it at, there's nothing out there. You look at like that $500,000 range, and you're getting like, you got to like do a whole rehab. So, I'm hoping we get, I know I shouldn't say it, we will get what we want. Yep, manifesting.
So it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. So anybody looking to like be HGTV style, ask anybody else for the memo of the drug list of what illicit drugs and regular drugs you should take when flipping your first home.
Whoa.
That's my biggest joke. I'm like, nobody gave me the memo. It's been crazy. A lot of sleepless nights.
My goodness.
And make sure that you over budget. No matter where you go in, even if you're doing a light flip, still budget for electric, plumbing, and HVAC and all that, because it's gonna come up. So just have that as a cushion.
Yeah.
So because we're like, oh yeah, pipe's good, electrical's good, and then we opened walls and it just got ugly from there.
Yeah.
But
do you? So this is your first ever one. Mm-hmm. You've heard. I mean, it's preached.
And I manifested it. So last December 31st, going into 2024, my boyfriend and I sat there and go, turn the TV off. We are going to sit there and we are going to write our goals down. And I made him write his goals down, and we sat there and we just talked about them on literally New Year's Eve, because we're big nerds and we weren't doing anything. And we just said we want our first flip. We just want one flip for 2024. So April comes and I have nothing. And he's like, babe, let's go look for houses. I was like, no, I'm done. We're not getting our first flip. We're not doing it. I'm really not feeling it. And then I was showing houses on Memorial Day weekend to a couple who was looking at Erica Circle. You remember I had Erica Circle? I kept talking about it. I'm like, I'm never going to sell this trailer. Like, it was a really nice trailer. It was very nice. It was really nice. It just wasn't in a good mobile home park. But anyway, they didn't like the location. They liked the mobile home. They're like, we want exactly this. And then I started asking them the questions. You got to ask your client questions. You got to ask them, well, why are you moving? What brings you to be in Honeybrook versus, somewhere else? They're like, well, we really want to be in Applebrook or Appleville, whatever that one is, up in off by the Highland Orchards. Is that Apple?
Oh, I'm not.
Apple,
no.
whatever that.
Yeah.
And I told them that when they go up, they go quick. Mm-hmm. And then I just asked them. I go, well, where do you live now? And they're like, Downingtown. We have this like rancher house that we've been in since the 80s. And I'm like, well, why are you moving? And they're like, well, we just want to downsize. And I'm like, well, okay, well, let me do this. Let me stop by. I mean, do you want to sell it? They're like, yeah, we'd love to sell it, but we don't want to put it on the market. It's just too much work to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, how much work can be in a house in Downingtown that need to do? Yeah. And I went there on the weekend. They're like, well, we're going to have some guy come and he says he's going to buy our house for cash. I said, well, I want to come in after him. And I did. And they're like, yeah, this guy had no clue. He was from Philly or Maryland. I don't know. Wasn't from the area. He was going to offer them like $200,000. I ran comps, and on RPR, it was like 440, which we know they take everything. Yeah. And I said, well, what if I gave you $250 for it? And they were like, yeah, where do we sign? And I'm like, oh my God. But the house needed a ton of work. Yeah. It was just, like you walked in the living room, there was one flooring. The bedrooms had one flooring. It was just really dated, little, just, they did some stuff. Needed but that love. Yeah. And then we went to the basement, and that's where it was like, oh, now I see why you want to move. Flooded or? So it flooded during the Downingtown flood. Oh yeah. 100-year flood. Yeah. What happened is like a couple weeks prior to that flood in the summertime, Glenside is on a state road, and they repaved it, and they didn't like do the berms on, like where they would stop the flooding. Yeah. And all the water, for some reason of how they repaved it, ran in down their driveway into their house. They had a French drain, but they did it themselves, and the French drain failed. So there was paneling buckling off the walls. There was mold all over the place. There was an old, I always call it like the Barbie fireplace that's like circular from like the 70s, and it's metal. Yeah, you guys, well, but you wouldn't know. But anyway, it's from it was in the Barbie dream house in the 70s that I had. So I'm dating myself. But anyway, they had one of those fireplaces down there, and it was like just a petri dish of mold. Oh, and I was like, oh my God. So my boyfriend, it works for Quality First. They do dry basements. Giving a plug to Quality First. If anybody needs a dry basement.
All I want to hear is bleep, 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 bleep. No,
Anyway, he went in and he's like, you would have to be a complete beep, beep, beep idiot not to take this house.
Yeah.
I ran it to a couple other people. They're like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I'm like, well, what do I need to do?
Right.
And our fearless leader, Steve Seymour, was like, just write up an offer. And I'm like,
just do it.
Oh my God. I'm like,
going blindfolded.
I literally like was driving down the road, like laughing and crying at the same time, going, what the beep am I doing? This is nuts. They accepted the offer, and we had until August
to back out,
to basically close. And it was June. It was like the beginning of June. It was like June 5th. But the irony of that is once that was all done, like then my basement flooded. And it was like this whole, like, it was just like a bad omen. But anyway, we closed in August, and my crazy beep ass self was like, oh, let's demo. I can't wait to demo. This is great. HD TV. I'm like, let's get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, what are you doing? It was the building inspector for
shit.
I never got any permits.
Oh my God.
Oops. But so I had to be like super nice to the building inspector, which now he and I are like, best friends.
Sure.
I like when I meet with him, I don't say a word. I'm like, okay, what are the next steps, Mr. Building Inspector?
Yeah. What do you need me to do?
Yeah. So we've been good. He's been actually, he knows that it's our first flip. So,
that's good. Downingtown lenient.
No, not West Broad. No one. Downingtown actually proper. The borough is really tough.
Are they?
Yeah. We got the permits.
Yeah.
We were on hold for about 3 weeks. And then we started on the outside first because we knew like the weather, get all the stuff on the outside.
Yeah.
Learning curve. I didn't know that siding shrinks. Even not aluminum siding, but like vinyl siding shrinks. Yeah. So we painted it all a pretty color, and then it got cold, and now we see like the old color. It's fine because we had to. We're going to have to repaint before we go anyway. So I'm hoping like we get like a nice 70-degree day in February. We did 2 years ago.
I'm praying for it too.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like.
That's a story.
Yeah. So
what are you all in right now? Or do you not want to share all that?
I don't want to share. Because, yeah.
All right. But
so
you'll be walking away pretty good.
We had 120 allocated. We're gonna go way over, but in like Rob Lawrence, like when he did his ceiling, he went over. We're probably like right there with him. There's not a lot of houses like that caliber that's kind of going to be turnkey. So I know it's Westchester Seal Lane, but I helped him. I had the buyer for Seal Lane. I'm kind of using that footprint. Mm-hmm. Ours doesn't have a garage. His didn't have a finished basement. We have finished livable space in the basement.
Gotcha.
We added additional bathroom. We have a new HVAC system with central air. We have a tank, hot water tankless tank we're putting in.
Yeah. You're doing the whole 9.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But because it's our first one. Like, am I going to do that on my second and third and fourth one if I'm still alive? No. It's going to be a lot more conservative.
I love it. I love how you're like looking at it as a learning experience, and that's very, I don't know. That's really cool.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff like I went in and was like had a different contractors for, we had the plumbing guy. I would probably use a GC next time, even though it would be a little bit more money. I think for timeline purposes, it would have gone a lot quicker. I was hoping to have it on the market by November, like Thanksgiving. No.
We'll pass that.
Yeah.
Can you share how you financed it?
So we had a private person. Gotcha. She's actually in the office. She's flipped a lot of houses. Mentor. She's technically our mentor.
Nice.
But it's again, we are,
private's way to go. That's what I was getting at.
It is if you can. But I mean, if you get a honest hard money lender too, I think that could be.
Yeah.
But then you have to do you still have to do overhead costs regardless if you have it a private person too.
Yeah,
so.
they're pretty similar. I mean, private, because a lot of the privates are small anyway. But let's flip it into residential retail real estate.
Yes.
You did, in the past 5 months, 17 deals?
Mm-hmm. Well, so what happened was I had that listing in March. The Erica Circle, and it just stayed. But I got a lot of people from it because it was the price point. It was 115, 120. I had it initially, and then I ended up getting like 105 for it, just because the location of if it was in a nicer, mobile home park, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. That was a whole other story on that too with mobile home parks, because people don't realize they have to pay like a lot fee and all that. So that sat on the market for a long time, and that's when I came up with the great idea of, actually it was my client, what if we put in a St. Joseph upside down? So I started doing the reels with St. Joseph.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I had like all this church music going on, and it works, guys. If you are spiritual religious at all, put that St. Joseph statue. They're on Amazon for like $5-7. Get a bunch of them.
You just buried it, right?
Upside down. My last one I forgot to unbury him. So he's still in Norristown. I don't know. I think you have to go unbury it to really have the
effects.
I don't care, because I really don't want to step foot in Norristown anytime soon, because I'm so over. Yeah. Not that Norristown, it's a lovely area. It's just, that was a nightmare deal.
Sure.
So
Norristown's lovely.
Because St. Joseph is still in anyway. If anybody's in Norristown on what was that road? I forget even the address. That's how much I blocked that out and went out. It was the first deal that I ever did in 10 years that I was at the closing, and I walked out to my car because my client was such a nutball, and I actually threw up.
Oh shit.
I literally was so stressed out. He had me so stressed out, and I was like literally about to throw up. And then I had it was awful. It was the worst settlement I've ever had.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who was the lender?
It was nothing to do with being a lender. It was my seller. Basically we went under contract, and he took off to Jamaica.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you got to help me with the UNO inspections. Hello.
Yeah.
And then nobody really knows, but when you go out of country like that, it's really hard to get a notary. Mm-hmm. I think there's only like a couple countries where you can use notaries, and believe it or not, China's one of them. You can get something notarized in China, but you can't get it in Jamaica. So I had to do all the UNO inspections. I had to meet with the UNO, and it was Jesus. That's actually part of the seller, in a sense, should be around to help with that stuff. Yeah. But we got it done, because that's what I do.
That's what you do. You get shit done.
You got to go above and beyond.
So 17 to the closing deals table in 5 months.
So so then May kind of started moving forward. I got hooked up with another agent in the office. It was like, hey, I'm getting Zillow leads. Do you want to be on my Zillow team? So that kind of started the trajectory of, I had a listing in Westchester on Minor Street, which was initially a rental that was only getting student, probably 500 students asking. Jake knows this all too well. And it was in a really good area. It was just wonky because of the parking situation.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, so I got it sold.
There's a nice young couple living in there. I see them sometimes.
Is it?
Yeah. Maybe it's next door. I don't know.
No. I wonder if they moved in, because I thought they were going to use it as a rental. The people that bought it from me. Listen, I'm now kicking myself. I wished I could have rented it out at that point. I could have rented it, but anyway.
Yeah, the price was a little high, but
so then I had a Zillow listing, and then I had two of the trailers, because one of the people that I helped her get her first house in another trailer. She was so ecstatic. probably one of the best, what do they call that? Not referral, but reviews I had all year. She was just, really went above and beyond. She never bought a house before. Now they own a trailer up in Gap. They ended up not buying Erica Circle, but
that's what you do it for.
Right. It was like I got a lot of leads from it, but she was a special one. I really wanted to help her out. But so I had 2 small ones in June, nothing in July. I was supposed to have 2 in July, but one of my clients ended up losing her job. So I lost one. I could have had 18. Then July 31st. I don't count July 31st because it was the last day of the month. I kind of count that as August. So I really had 3 in August.
Wow.
And then I had 3 in September, nothing in October, 1 in November, and 3 in December.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's heavy. 17, dog. Damn.
And I counted. And then I had actually 4 in August because I had my flip.
Oh, that's right.
So, but I didn't get any commission from that. That was just like.
But you can do that sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it though.
No, well,
on that case, it's kind of
with that scenario.
Yeah. So, yeah, it ended up being a good year. And I would recommend, you kind of just have to get your mindset and you just have to get your brain, just focused on what you want the final outcome to be.
Yeah. What are your goals for this year, numbers wise?
So I do some coaching, and he's been on here before with Ed Fordyce, and I just started with Becky as well. So Becky's more my accountability, getting shit done. Okay. Ed's more of getting my mindset. So
cool.
What I mean? One's intangible, one's tangible. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
But Ed and I talked, and I said, I want to do $40,000 a month. I have no clue how I came up with that number. Yeah. And then when I did my business plan for 2025, I wanted my GCI to be 300, 350. And I think I know I can do this. Yeah. So, but in the course of, since I've done my business plan, I've been really kind of getting my pipeline rolling. So always keep your pipeline full of those people, always talking to people, always putting people in your database. Something that I never did in the beginning, and I'm kicking myself going forward because I'm like, what if? Can't look back, but now I can just move forward and just kind of keeping that pipeline always going. And what's awesome about going in year 10 is now all my referral business is starting to come in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so those people that I sold 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, it's starting to come hey, I have a friend that's looking. Yeah. Something I'm doing for February, Show Me Your Love. I'm doing a monthly newsletter. I did one for January. Nice. Part of the reason why I'm doing a newsletter is I'm sending it out digitally, but that's also cleaning up my database. So any rejects, I can just take them off. Yeah. Or follow up and get a new email if they have a phone number, follow up with that. But then for February, I'm going to do Show Me Your Love, show some love back to Susan Mattern and get the reviews that I never got.
Oh, cool.
So if I can get my reviews going, get my Google business page going more, I mean, it's good. And then another thing is monthly, I'm doing my own podcast with What's Happening Chesco. Nice. I have almost 13,000 people following me on that group, and I want to start I'm going to create a landing page somehow with that and offering items of value. Nice. If it's a home buyer packet or a home selling packet. Sure. How to flip your first house packet. Different items of value and have a landing page, and then I can collect the data that way.
Oh, don't say that. But yeah, I know what you mean.
That's awesome. Well, we'll collect data. We'll get back to people and have some sort of database that I mean, I won't be calling them up and pressuring them, but if I can get them an item of value between my newsletter and the item of value, and then they know that they have a trusted source in Chester County to call me. So, yeah.
What's your podcast? So your recent one
was a psychic with Rick Wood. Did you see it?
I didn't watch the full thing. I saw some clips about it, and then just talking to him, I was like, "What the fuck?" He's
beep.
No, we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a character.
Yeah, he is. He's an interesting cat. I think he's here today.
Is he?
She was asking me about the stencils. I go, "What are stencils?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And here, the stencils that are up there about that Jen put on there. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out who to have on my next one. I want to do something.
Put it out in the universe. Who do you want?
I have people. I just don't know who to put in next. Like,
I got you.
I have Restore, where I go.
Oh, yeah. The IV bags and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I started doing that. But I'm thinking, like, do I do that? But it would have to be on premise. So I have to ask
whoever does it.
Yeah. Would you do it on premise?
On site, yeah.
But if I do it in the podcast room, I think I'm going to have this girl, Carly Simmons. She's she's from Delaware, but
familiar.
She's a country singer, and she's like lives. She's also an agent.
She's friends with Dylan.
Yeah, she's also an agent. She's so. She was asking if she could be on the podcast, and I think that would be really cool because she could come in and play some music and sing a little bit, and it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I might have her, or I might do the Restore. I am doing a client appreciation at Restore in March.
Very good.
Yeah, and because it's going to be super easy, and then all my clients, I'll have my database done. Mm-hmm. They can all come out and bring a friend, and then I will raffle off some sort of gift card to there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to finish up the podcast. Just give out a piece of motivational advice to. Who should I say to Susan? Who should you talk to? Because at the end
I'm
of
going to say something really cheesy, and you guys are going to be like, what is that? Don't let your dads eat pie. Do you know what movie that's from?
Bring the mic up.
I don't know what movie that's from.
Hot Rod. Did you remember? You ever see that movie, Hot Rod?
Hot Rod with Andy Samberg?
Yeah.
I did see it. It's been a while.
Such a cheeseball movie. I say that on when Brian's always like, what would some advice you'd give? I'm like, don't let your dads eat pie. And they're like, what? I'm like, so you guys I'm like a total cult.
What?
Rated B. I'm a total movie cult, rated B movie lover. I love Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre.
I think she's saying cult movies, actual cults.
I don't know what's going on. I just asked for a piece of advice.
I'm just going on. I want to talk more. Can't cut me off yet. No, just joking. So my piece of advice I would give you would be just stay focused and have some sort of intention into your business. I have $40,000 a month.
Yeah. I love that you have that sense of direction.
And I literally, people used to say this in the beginning, because I was at KW in the very beginning, and I'd be like, these people are on crack. Really? I'm going to sit there and put my intentions and brush my teeth. And I do.
Yeah, you stare at it. And I'm like,
I do. And I literally will be in the car, $40,000 a month, $40,000 a month. Or the other thing is
schizophrenic.
Right. I do have a personality disorder. Did you know
that?
The other thing too is don't let the negativity get in the way.
Yeah.
There's so much chatter, and it literally happened to me this week, and you just kind of gotta let it go.
I know, it's so easy to get wrapped up in that shit, but
and I hate to say this, if it means cutting friends off because they're negative, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Real estate is a lifestyle. It is not a job. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you say it's a job, forget about it. You might as well just go work at Chick-fil-A or Target, because it's not. That's a job. Real estate is a lifestyle, and you really got to encompass that into your life. And that's not just encompassing that you're going to go out and show houses. And even though I showed a really cool house on Sunday, a 16,000 square foot house, which was amazing. Took us 2 hours to go through, but it's really you can't, there's going to be negative, and you got to let it go. Get the ego out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot why I initially started with this brokerage, because, and if you see it in my video resume, is there's no egos here. It's just all about, our core values and collaboration. So that's it. Just stay positive. If you have to get rid of your friends and family, because there's negativity in it, then that's what you have to do. So you got to set, at the end of the day, you got to feed yourself and feed your family. You got to really just hone in and make it happen.
You are so positive. I love that.
Oh, I am? God, the weather sucks right now. Just kidding.
No, but there's a big difference between
No, yeah.
Because a lot of people are just today's gonna suck, or I don't care to learn about doing this thing.
Right.
And I love how you're just like constantly just moving forward in the right direction. That's what VRA
that's
is all about.
You got to do. Like, I think the biggest thing is like, there's a reason why there's a rear view mirror and there's a windshield.
Whoa.
The rear view mirror, you look back, you can't take what you did in the past. I mean, we've all I'm 50, I'll be 54 this year, right? We've all fucked up. We've all done stupid shit. Yeah. We've all made the wrong decisions. But guess what? We wouldn't be here right now. And I listened today, somebody's like, we'd still all be in diapers if you didn't make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So we all learn from our mistakes, and that's why you have the windshield. You look forward, because if you don't, you're going to crash.
Yeah. You look forward to that next step.
Yep.
Thank you so much.